What's good, Eagles fans? This is your boy, Tone DESHIELDS II. You guys are locked in on your dose of Chalk It Up, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. I want to talk to you guys about Jalen Hurts' performance in Atlanta, beating down the Atlanta Falcons 32-6. And he didn't do it alone. He didn't do it alone. The team came in and did their thing, top to bottom, front to back, side to side. It was a full team effort. Offense did their thing. Defense did their thing. Special teams was key. Shout out to the punter, Sippos. My man pinned them behind their own 10-yard line more than one time on more than one occasion. But this video is really about Jalen Hurts because I feel like it's about time that we start pulling receipts. I think it's about time that we start putting a little bit more respect on this man's name. Now, granted, a lot of people want to pull the carpet from under us and say it was the Atlanta Falcons. They suck. Not the best standing, but they have Matt Ryan. At the time they had Julio Jones. Now they have Calvin Ridley still. Kyle Pitts. They got Mike Davis, a very reliable running back. Cordell Patterson, a dynamic guy who's more so used in special teams, but he's converted into a running back, and he's pretty useful, pretty elusive, pretty strong actually. But people want to discount this win. People want to pull the rug from under Jalen Hurts' performance. Now, I'm not saying crown him, but what I'm saying is use your eyes. My man was 27 for 35, 264 yards, 3 touchdowns, averaged almost 10 yards per attempt. Only got sacked one time, and that sack came from a defensive end or linebacker that had to go all the way around. After Jalen Hurts was moving around in the pocket for 5+ seconds, he had to come all the way around just to get that sack. Nobody necessarily gave it up. It was just one of those. It was just one of those sacks that, hey, it was bound to happen. You can't stand back there in knit sweaters all day. Excuse me. But like I said, 27 for 35, putting up 264 yards, 3 touchdowns on almost 10 yards per attempt. And he rushed the ball 7 times for 62 yards, almost 9 yards an attempt. And here's the thing about that. Jalen Hurts wasn't just running the ball just because. He was surgical with it. He showed situational awareness. He showed that he was capable of standing stout in the pocket and throwing that ball. My man dropped back 35 times. It would have been 42 times if he didn't run. But that comes with talent. That comes with knowing the situation. Sometimes you got to get out of dodge. And Jalen Hurts came in and did exactly what he was supposed to do. He surpassed my expectations, honestly, in the debut. Nick Sirianni surpassed my expectations in his debut. Nick Sirianni called a hell of a game. Jalen Hurts threw a hell of a game. The most beautiful thing about Jalen Hurts is he showed poise and timely decision-making back there. Situational awareness was at an all-time high. But you think about his opening drive. Matter of fact, you think about the very first drive for the Atlanta Falcons. They drove down the field, ran the ball down our throat. We couldn't do nothing about it. They was just throwing the ball to Calvin Ridley this way, Kyle Pitts that way. We couldn't do nothing about it. But we got in that red zone, shut them down. They scored 3 points, albeit. Then we get the ball. Jalen Hurts is like, no harm, no foul. Hey, defense, I got you. My man drives down the field, was surgical with it. Throws a touch pass, 18-yard bomb. Devontae Smith coming in for his first career touchdown in the NFL. The rookie. You saw how he got off that line. You saw the release. Zach Ertz did his thing setting the pick. He also did his job not creating too much contact. It was surgical. The most beautiful thing about that first drive, the most beautiful thing about the game was everything seemed intentional. Everything seemed like we were sticking to the plan. No one panicked. No one got out of pocket. Like I said, Jalen Hurts didn't rely solely on his legs. He had pocket presence and he had awareness. And he exercised timely running when he needed to, running where it was absolutely necessary. He trusted his offensive line. It was plenty of times where he stood in that pocket, took a hit, and delivered that ball. But he barely got touched, if we're being honest. Only got sacked one time. The closest he came to getting sacked again was when he threw that screen pass to Jalen Reagor, and Jalen Reagor took it to the crib. 23 yards, I believe. Hurts responded well to the adversity. He responded well to the blitz with confidence, like he'd been there before. And again, I don't want to get too high off this win, but I want to acknowledge what my eyes saw. I saw a team that was buttoned up. I saw a team that was sharp. I saw a team that came out confident and prepared. Nobody thought this team was going to be this prepared. Nobody thought Nick Sirianni was going to have this team this ready, this sharp, this poised, this squared away. Nobody thought that. Everybody thought we was going to be a 4-win team at best again. a 4 or 5 win team. Some people were saying we was a 3-win team. Based off that performance, oh yeah, we could definitely get to double-digit wins. Now, week to week, the opponents change. Week to week, the circumstances change. Next week we got San Fran. But we got to acknowledge what our eyes saw. We saw Jalen Hurts commanding that offense. We saw him doing exactly what the offense dictated. We saw him taking exactly what the defense gave him. You know what sold me? He sold me on a 2-minute drill. He sold me on his performance during the 2-minute drill in the final moments of the first half. They got that ball back with a little over a minute left. Actually, they got the ball back with the 2-minute warning. They got the ball back at the 2-minute mark. They drove down the field surgically, took their time. And now, granted, penalties happened. Offensive line penalties was all over the place. False starts, holding, things. Those things happened. But Jalen Hurts responded. He didn't fold. He didn't make ill-will decisions. Despite the offensive line setbacks, he recovered and made the most out of the possessions. He hardly took negative plays throughout the entire game. If things wasn't looking good, he ran. If things didn't look good, he threw it. He didn't take many negative plays. He had to delay a game, but that was early. That comes with getting in rhythm. My man ain't played since the first preseason game. But Jalen Hurts, I think he's coming. And he's coming with a vengeance. I think Jalen Hurts, I think this is only the beginning. I think this is only the tip of the iceberg. You saw how elusive he was. He played that game. He was like a pseudo Russell Wilson. That's how I praise right now. But we can't ignore what our eyes saw. We can't ignore it. Nick Sirianni did his thing. They came out with a plan and stuck to it. JG came out with a plan. Shane Steichen came out with a plan. Brian Johnson came out with a plan. Jeff Stoutland came out with a plan. Jalen Hurts, offensive line, they came out with a plan. And they stuck to it. The offensive line was sturdy. If this offensive line and this defensive line can do exactly what they did every week, oh yeah, we're gonna be a tough out. We're gonna be a tough out. But I'll leave it at that. I'm your humble host, Tone DESHIELDS II. And y'all was locked in on y'all dose of chalk it up. Where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just gotta charge it to the game. One love, stay humble, stay healthy, most importantly, stay hungry. And fly goes fly.